Hi guys, it's Kenneth Cunningham, and I have come to show you how you can make $3,500 a month residually using the Financial Freedom Train Family and Friends Share Program. This is a way, guys, that you can create financial stability and economic success for you and your family for years to come. And here's how. In the Financial Freedom Train, we use a very ancient method and system which is known as the SUSU. And it might be new to you, but it has been around for centuries. Several cultures, especially African and Caribbean cultures, have used this metric in order for them to be able to create wealth, build businesses, and purchase property within their community. Anytime that people were disenfranchised and disadvantaged in being able to get bank loans or being able to receive money from their government, they will create a SUSU for the purpose of social savings and underbanking. And they would use each other by putting their money all together in one pot to ensure that every single member of the SUSU would have the chance to receive a full lump sum of what everybody was paying in. The Financial Freedom Train has taken that idea and improved it times 10 to where now you're able to receive a major payout on your investment. In your traditional SUSUs, when people come together to pool their money, everyone has to agree to pay a certain amount weekly or bi-weekly. For instance, in your traditional SUSU, 10 people would agree to give $100 a week. That $100 a week would add up to be $1,000, which would be given to the designated person on that given week. And they would all take turns rotating, receiving the full $1,000. The only disadvantage to your traditional SUSU is you're going to receive out of it what you paid into it. Over a 10-week period, if you've given $100 for 10 weeks, that's only $1,000. And depending on the size of the SUSU, guys, there are times where it will take months, sometimes even up to a year for individuals to receive their full payout. But the Financial Freedom Train has found a way that you can invest into this share program and you can receive 7 times more than what you invest. Your payments will be sent to you monthly, no matter when you come in. You're not waiting on 10 or 15 people to get their payment ahead of you. You will receive your money within 1 month's time. And also, you have the chance through the FFT program to turn your investment into residual income. The lump sums of money are extremely larger. The money is non-taxable, and you have the chance to build continuous financial stability for years to come. This is how it works. In order for you to come into FFT, you're coming into what is known as a flower, and there are certain requirements. We call it a flower because flowers are something that is the result of a seed being planted and that seed being nourished and watered in order for it to turn into a beautiful and radiant flower, a living, breathing organism. And the Financial Freedom Train works no different. In order for you to be successful in this program, you have to plant a seed and you will need to nourish your seed. And if you do so, you will end up with such a beautiful result. This is what it is. In FFT, the flower is a placeholder for 4 different positions. There are 4 different positions represented on the flower. There's your fire position, there's a wind position, there's an earth position, and there is a water position. Everyone that comes into a flower has the same requirements. Everyone must enter in their first week as a fire. And every fire is required to pay a one-time entry fee of $500. Contrary to your traditional SUSU, you're not paying money every single week or bi-weekly. You only pay your entry fee one time and your spot is secure as a fire. In week number 2, you move into the win position to where you are required by the flower to share the opportunity with 2 people. In week 2, you need to. When you're in the win, you bring people in, okay? Then in week 3, you move into the earth position. And we just simply say that by this time, you're on top of the world because you're on your way to making $4,000. Then in week number 4, you move into what is known as the water position. And this is the payout position. Whenever you become water in week 4, you will receive a total payout gift of $4,000 with the chance to turn that money into residual income by recycling a gift of $500 back into our community. This is how it equals $4,000. Because there are 8 fires on the flower, and 8 fires come into the flower every single week, and their entry gift always pays the person who's in the water. So whenever someone arrives in the water, there will be 8 new fires paying $500 a piece. 8 times 500 is 4,000, and all of their entry fee will be sent to the person in the water directly. Here is a 4-week progression of how it would look for you if you were to join the financial freedom train. You would come in week 1 in the fire position and pay your $500 one-time entry fee. In week number 2, you would move into the win position. And remember what I said, in week 2, you need to. When you're in the win, you bring people in. And you bring in, for instance, your sister and your brother. In week 3, you move into the earth position and you're on top of the world because you're 1 week away from getting paid. You brought in your 2 people, but your 2 people are responsible to do the same thing that you have done, which is to bring in 2 people as well. When you're in week 2, you need to. When you're in the win, you bring people in. Your sister brings in her uncle and her cousin, and your brother brings in the father and the mother. And that is week 3 for you in the earth position. In week number 4, this is where you have the opportunity to throw a party and take off work, plan a vacation, because you have just turned a one-time investment of $500 into a total payout of $4,000. And here's how. You brought in your 2 people, which were your brother and your sister. They brought in their 2 people. Your brother's 2 people was his father and his mother. Your sister's 2 people were her uncle and her cousin. And everybody who's in week 2 has to bring 2. When you're in the win, you bring people in. So they're now responsible to bring in 2 people as well. And when they do, all of their money will be sent to you. The father brings in his brother and his sister. The mother brings in her brother and her sister. The cousin brings in her friend and her co-worker. And then the uncle brings in his son and his wife. And all of their entry fee money will be sent to you when you are in the water position. When you move out of the water position, you have the chance to start your residual cycle. By that time, the 2 people you have brought in are now in position for them to receive their full payout from the program. But in order for that to happen, the flower has to split in order to open up 8 new spaces for 8 new fires to come in on your brother's side and on your sister's side. And everyone is still required to do the same thing. In week 2, you bring 2. When you're in the win, you bring people in. And your brother's 2 people were his mother and father, and mother brought in her brother and her sister. The father brought in his brother and his sister, and they are all required to bring in their own 2 people. So the sister brings in her sister and husband. The brother brings in wife and daughter. The sister brings in a best friend and a co-worker, and a brother brings in a girlfriend and a stepson. And that is how your brother will receive his $4,000 payout. Your sister will receive the same exact thing because her flower has mirrored your brother's flower. It has split, which has given all 4 of the people in the win position the opportunity to bring 2 people in. And when they follow suit, your sister as well will receive a $4,000 payout. Guys, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. You cannot find any program that you can invest $500 one time and turn it into $3,500 take home pay within a month's time.